So, $2,000 guitars that are made in America are getting harder and harder to find. You can find $2,000 guitars that are from, China, Indonesia, Korea, some of them even from different other places. But the brands and the make of guitars that are American made and $2,000 or less, it's kind of getting harder and harder to find. And as trade wars and tariffs and all kinds of other things go on across the globe, they are getting harder and harder to find. Even the guitars that we used to think of as, $600-700 guitars have suddenly become $1,000 guitars. And that's got me to thinking, in American-made guitar world, what can you get for less than $2,000? And two of the biggest manufacturers are Gibson and Fender. There are some other ones, but most of the ones that are made in the United States from other companies are generally considered custom shop or boutique stuff. And so they're all well over $2,000. None of them delivers, a lot of bang for the buck. They do a great job, but by the time you get to that point, that you're buying one of those, you're buying it because of the exclusivity of its name more than the fact that it is the guitar that you need or want. Or, like I say, you have something else that brought you to the $3,000 range, because that's where they start basically. So this guitar was recently introduced by Gibson. It has P-90 in the bridge, Mini Humbucker in the neck, and it is one that I'm really enjoying having around. Rosewood fretboard, slab mahogany body, mahogany neck. It is really comfortable. Neck's a little thicker, more like a junior, but it is absolutely a great guitar. And from Gibson.com, you can have it delivered to your house for less than $2,000, presuming you don't have some kind of crazy sales tax or something in your state that causes them to add it to your purchase price. But here in Texas, this one was delivered to the house for less than $2,000. So this one sells for stickers for $1,799, $1,799, and it is a guitar. I mean, it's a Gibson Made in America guitar, and I like it, and I enjoy it. It has a great tone to it. It's and it loves being played in all kinds of different ways, because these two pickups together, the P-90 and the humbucker, Mini Humbucker, have a really good offset to each other. Like, they just do everything well. But the question I had was, what else can you get in that range? And I happen to have two of them here in the collection that are very similar in price. And here's one of them. This is the Modern Studio, and it is got really cool appointments. It has a really great body. It's a mahogany body with a maple top, so it is a carved top instead of a flat top, so it's not a slab body. Modern Studios have binding on their fretboards, but it is an ebony fretboard with black binding, and that makes it unique in amongst a lot of the other guitars in Gibson's lineup, because it has black binding on a ebony fretboard. I'm kind of an ebony snob, by the way. I like the way ebony feels. I think it plays really well. I think it feels good, and it just looks right. But this guitar has two humbuckers, 490R, 498T, and wired with coil split / coil tap, phase reversal, and pure bypass to the bridge. And in previous videos, we've taken this and discovered that when you take and pull this one up, it puts a hotter output on this one because it does away with all the other wiring. So the only wiring when you pull this up is straight from here, straight there, all 10s, everything, just whatever the pickup is designed to be. So this guitar, stickers for like $19.99, but they're selling for $17.99. Same price as the P-90 Mini Humbucker Special. Do you get more guitar? Arguably, yes, you do get more guitar. Get the Comfort Cutaway, you know, a little bit upgraded tuners versus the Specials tuners. The neck itself is a slim taper, very much like what a custom is. This thing right here is very close to a custom, and we've put it up next to a custom and discovered that it has a lot of the same attributes and the sound at a fraction of the price. The difference is customs are really expensive because they are customs and they have all the different appointments. Multi-wire binding, you know, ebony fretboard with the block inlays. I mean, they're high-end guitars, much higher than what this is. But if you're just looking for the sound and you're a player and you're going to be playing out and about, you don't necessarily want to have a $4,000 guitar that you're out there beating on, unless you're just looking for the mojo of it. So this guitar, again, $2,000 or less, delivered to the house. You can get them on reverb for even less than that. But from Gibson, you could call the Gibson Garage, order one of these, and they'd probably sell it to you for $17.99 plus tax and shipping, maybe, depending on if you. I think if you buy something like this, I think it automatically comes with shipping, so it's built into the price of the guitar. So anyway, so from Gibson, this is the other guitar you can get. But Gibson isn't the only American-made manufacturer. Fender makes them in America too. And Fender has a mod shop, and you can order a mod shop Stratocaster, HSH like this one. And this is the upgraded Shawbucker version, and it's an HSH. And it is also a $2,000-ish guitar delivered to the house. This one right here, Black Friday sale, $1,700 delivered to the house. So this guitar in amongst itself represents something that is a great deal, and I got to pick what I wanted. Got a rosewood neck and fretboard, so the whole thing is a big piece of rosewood, and the headstock matches that, so that's kind of cool. Sherwood green body, black pearloid pickguard. This one is set up with a 5-way, so it has, you know, positions 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. So, like I say, it is set up to be a great guitar. This guitar is incredibly easy to play. It's comfortable. It's very, very rich in tone, and you'll discover that when I play it. This one was upgraded with the locking tuners. So that's another something that you get, the modern deluxe locking tuner. So it's not the old style buttons like what's on a lot of the vintage ones. So there's a more upgraded deal. But these guitars, like I say, you can build one right now on Fender's website, get it made, you know, have it ordered up like this, and then turn around and have it delivered for $2,000 or less. You can keep these in a good price range and really get a lot of bang for your buck. But today's deal is, what do they sound like and how do they compare, and which one would you buy for yourself? So I'm going to take these three, do some clean tones, and then add a little bit of overdrive. You know, I'm going to use the metal zone, as well as the fuzz, because each one of them has a little bit different sound, but they all have the same basic deal, and that is inexpensive American-made guitars that you can take anywhere, and they have a lot of ability to play different stuff. So again, starting off with the P-90 Mini Humbucker, I'm going to just turn everything to 10. I'm not going to try to do any kind of special like modifying the tones or anything at first. Maybe I'll, as we go into them, different places in the, you know, like with the metal zone and with the fuzz, I'll add some different, you know, characteristics using the tone and volume. But overall, we'll start off just 10 so that everything is a fair comparison. Start off Mini Humbucker in the neck. Same thing in the P-90. Then the middle. Modern studio now. Bridge. And the middle. Now this one's a little bit harder because I can't give you all three of them together. I'm gonna have to give you each one. So I'll start off in the neck and then we'll work our way back to the bridge. So neck, middle, bridge, now neck and middle, bridge and middle, so each of them has a unique tone and each of them does something a little bit different from the other ones, right? So they all basically have great feel, great tone, and like I say, they're all American made. Now, can you get something cheaper from Schecter or something like that? Absolutely. But sometimes it's the American made quality that you're looking for. And I've recently discovered that the tariffs on these guitars in other places and the value of that dollar versus our dollar makes these guitars incredibly expensive other places. So this doesn't necessarily apply in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, places like that. But anyway, bottom line, these guitars, like I say, this one right here, this Mini Humbucker has a has a great sound to it, man. Like, and it's very much like what a deluxe is. And I would have had the deluxe in here, but I've recently discovered that you cannot get a deluxe for less than $2,000. You can't find any version of a deluxe, even the older ones, unless it's like damaged, for less than $2,000. So that's why I didn't put one of the deluxes in here, is because even though the deluxe used to be a guitar that you could get for a decent price, you can't anymore. They're all $2,000 or more. And that was kind of my criteria, was keeping it below $2,000 delivered. This guitar, man, this soap bar has a great tone, and when you put them together, they just do, they balance each other out so well. Now, that said, when you put drive on it, the Mini Humbucker comes to life. Nothing unexpected from the soap bar. Soap bar sounds exactly like the P-90 should. So anyway, Metal Zone turns this guitar into a little fire-breathing beast, and I love it. I just absolutely love this guitar. I cannot say enough good things about this guitar, because I feel like this guitar really does make a case for a cheap guitar sounding amazing. So anyway, but like I say, still not really a cheap guitar. It's an inexpensive guitar compared to its other Les Paul siblings. So how does that sound compare to the other two? So back to clean tones on this guitar, because playing something a little more what we were doing with the other one. So this guitar has a lot of neat stuff that it does. Like I say, right now I've got it all turned to 10. So fun deal though is throw a little metal on it and it becomes the screamer that you think it should be. So anyway, that is the modern studio, and it has a lot of great tones in it, and it is really flexible when you start adding that in. But we will do that a little bit later. Now, off to the Fender. So the Humbuckers, in my opinion, are a lower output pickup. They don't make quite as much song as, you know, they're not as loud. Now, that said, they're also not as close to the strings. This one's strung with 10 gauge strings, just like the other one's is, but this one has the pickups a little further away, so they're not quite as loud. So if you're gonna do that, to be completely fair, I probably should lift them up, but I like the way this sounds clean because it has a really nice, predictable sound. That said, throw a little metal zone on it and it becomes a screamer just like the other two. Neck now. And in the middle pickup, the middle settings, which is 2 and 4, tend to do this thing where, because this pickup in the middle is so far away from the strings, it stays cleaner. Now, also, what I mean by cleaner is it's not as muddy sounding and as overdriven as the humbuckers in the studio, and the combination of them in the Special just kind of doesn't give the clarity, but these have clarity to them. And that's probably the adjustment of the pickups, not the guitar. So you could probably fix that by adjusting these pickups to be wherever, or adjusting the other pickups to be down, farther away. I just like them the way they are because each of them has a unique tone and it gives me something different. So if I'm looking for a particular tone, I can get that without having to do it. I don't have to go looking for it. I just have a guitar that's already set up, which is why you'd have more than one guitar in the first place, is because each one can be catered to whatever you feel a certain song needs, you know. Now this is position 4, which is the neck and the middle. I love the way that sounds. And I like the way the neck pickup sounds by itself with distort, with, you know, with the metal zone on, because it has a different sound to it that I can't explain, except to say that it has its own little vibe. Now, throw fuzz on it, and all these guitars become the same version of, or they all become the same version of the guitar that you just heard, but with a different, like, I'll just listen. Now let's get fuzzy with some P-90 and soap bar goodness. In my opinion, this one gets muddy. And that's okay, because this one soap bar offsets that. And that's why in the middle it sounds so good. So, at the end of the day, for this guitar, fuzz, not my favorite. Metal Zone, probably my favorite. That or just the clean tone, because the clean tone is really just nice. I mean, so it does a really good job of being a great guitar for the price. But it has another Les Paul to compete with. And that Les Paul comes with some tricks up its sleeve. So, it sounds like this. But then it can do and it can do the same trick in the bridge. And what's even funnier is it can make them go opposite each other. When they are in, you can have it playing phase normal. And then you can mix and match. So like right now, okay, so let's take a moment. Let's recognize that you are in both coil splits with phase reversal all at the same time. And in the middle of it, you decide It's lead time. You are suddenly in all humbucker in the bridge, straight volume 10. So that's kind of a cool trick, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to find out what it sounds like with fuzz in phase normal. Bridge now. Now in the middle. And of course you can, in the middle, you can have single coil in the front. Single coil in the rear. Or both single coil. And then there's phase reversal. So this one is the most flexible of the group. But is it the best? Is it what you need? Do you benefit from all the fun stuff? Or could you get away? The other thing is, this guitar comes with a soft case. A gig bag. Well, it's not really a gig bag, it's a gig case. And the other two, both, the Fender comes with a hard shell case and the Special comes with a hard shell case. This one happens to have a hard shell case that I got for it because I got it separately from the guitar. And I feel like it was worth it because I like hard shell cases. But at the end of the day, this is where it comes down. What do you need, and is it what you need? Is what you need more or less? This guitar, definitely the most flexible of the group. But for some reason, I love the way the Special plays and feels, and I have zero hate on that guitar. I feel like if I was going to go to the website and buy just one guitar from Gibson, the Special is probably the one I'd buy. Fender, man, I love my Fender Mod Shop guitar. I have no hate on it. I think it's a great guitar. I still think I might choose the Gibson, not because of anything other than the fact that I like Mini Humbuckers, and that Mini Humbucker soap bar pickup combination just sounds amazing. So anyway, but what would you get? Talk about it. Let me know what you would pick. Would you choose something different? Would you forego getting an American guitar and get an import? I want to hear, what's your favorite guitar for less than $2,000? Till next time.